James from Survivalpunk.com, and I'm back. It has been forever. It's been such a long time since I've done a podcast. Like 2 years, almost to the day. No, I'm not going to make excuses. I will tell you some of what went on. I mean, it's not like I was held captive by the CIA or anything. But it's been a pretty wild 2 years, right, guys? Like, one of my next to last podcasts I put out was when people were still like 2 weeks to slow the spread. 2 years later. Are we still trying to slow the spread? Like, now I feel like most people don't give a shit anymore. And I quit giving a shit so early on. Probably like most of y'all. But there are literally still people that do care. Like, they're not worried about anything else. They're worried about goddamn COVID. And I know people are still getting it. People aren't, like, about partway through, I was telling people, like, look, it's just not the Black Death. The numbers just aren't there. It's not killing people wholesale left and right. And most of the people that get it are more or less fine. Like, if you've been chain smoking for the last 40 years and you're 400 pounds overweight, you probably didn't make it through having COVID very well. Maybe you did. Probably not. And I bet you're not here to argue with me. And that was me thinking that the death rate wasn't that bad, even with the inflated numbers, which are real sketch. And I'm just like I knew people that were fucking terrified of COVID. And, you know, like, early on, a friend of mine, buddy, he saw, you know, he was watching it when he was in China, in Wuhan. You know, and some of those numbers looked a bit sketchy. We knew China was lying. You know, so it was something to keep an eye on. But did not think it would become the monstrosity that it did. In bullshittery, not in death count. We've already established it wasn't that bad. And I mean, you could so go like conspiracy theory, like, it's not even hard. It's not even hard. And, you know, just playing around, you can come up with some crazy ones, but, like, just the official things put out, like, if anyone looks at it, is like, how is this real? How is this not a conspiracy theory? So, yeah. The madness of COVID had a big to-do with the lack of podcasting over the past 2 years. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. That was another, like, basically we had my daughter in 2019 in September, the last day of September of like 2019, and then COVID hit and like shit got crazy. Like, I'm with my wife busy trying to raise, you know, a newborn, and everything is going to shit. It is fucking madness. And luckily that, like, we had her right before, like, a lot of the restrictions really took place, so there's that. It, you know, went on for a while before it really kicked in, like, March 2019, me and my wife went to vacation, March 2019, so my daughter was just a little old, she stayed with her grandma. We went to vacation, we came back, like, this shit hit the fans, like, I work retail, and we could not keep food on the counters. Like, it would just, a truck would come in, we would stock it, it would be gone. Like, meat truck, is most of what I'm talking about. But everything else, as you guys know, was just torn off the shelves. Our meat truck would come in, we would put it out, it would sell by like lunch, and then really I wouldn't have anyone to meet the rest of the day, because there's no product. It all sold. And then, the toilet paper memes. Man, like, why was that, like, none of it made any sense. Like, the whole COVID thing, all of it was, like, ridiculous, nonsensical bullshit. Like, the beer, like, wasn't even being torn up. People weren't getting massively smashed during COVID. Like, you know, for the most part, me and other preppers kind of postulated that when the grid's going down, like, you know, alcohol, tobacco, and cigarettes, or alcohol, tobacco, are going to fly off the shelves. You're not going to be able to stock them because people will be freaked out. Liquor sales were hardly up. Like, at least in my area, I know as the pandemic went on, people really started boozing. Mental health took a big hit because everyone's stuck inside and just, that's not good. Like, frozen pizzas, like, the stuff that, like, had this affected the power grid, people are stockpiling goddamn frozen pizzas. That's the thing you're doing? Yeah, bread was hard to get, but what a crazy pandemic. At some point during all this, about a year ago, not this past January, the year before, my mother passed away very abruptly, not due to COVID, by the way, and it was tough to deal with that. So why haven't I put out a podcast in 2 years? A lot of reasons. You may be able to tell that I don't sound like I normally do on the podcast. Not that I have COVID, but I'm trying to go old school, Jack Spear Co. Record in my phone, record in my car on the way home. So maybe Couch Potato Mike has been talking about doing a podcast, and I just wasn't until now. So I can probably get with Mike, and we could have Couch Potato Mike back on some episodes, and that'd be great. I know you guys miss him, and miss having the Survivalpunk podcast, and and there's a lot of times during the past 2 years I was like, I really like, this is the reasons that we prep. Like, this is it. I need to get back in there. I just couldn't. So, if any of you may know, I'm a recovering alcoholic. In one of the AA meetings I went to, a guy explained his alcoholism. He explained it like this: I have two switches. I have extreme and off. And I was off. And just, there's nothing you can get it back on. Until recently, I felt like the candle being ignited. Just when I think we're out of the cool COVID bullshit and things are going to start returning to normal, actual normal, not a new normal. It's just like, it's a cascading, like, pile of shit now. So, and I started like thinking things. I'm like, oh, that would be a good show topic, and that would be a good show topic, and I was starting to kindle the fire for Survivalpunk. So I was like, I gotta get back in. I gotta get back in the website. Y'all need to hear me. I need Survivalpunk. The podcast is a lot like therapy for me too. I have a lot of ideas, I have a lot of thoughts and opinions, and I need to share them. And I haven't been sharing with them because I've been off, just been mentally off. Work, obviously, workload went through the roof with COVID, and then afterwards, so it's a lot. But I am back. I have some show ideas. Maybe I'm going to try to. So the point was, I'm going to start doing it on the way home in my car. The air conditioner's off, so I'm dying in Tennessee for you guys right now. We'll see if, like, I'll try doing it with the air on and see if I can get out the noise. I haven't edited a podcast in 2 years, so I may not be able to do jack shit anymore. But I have a show topic. Obviously, you're not getting a 1 hour show like you used to. It'll be pushing like 30-minute shows. But 30-minute shows are better than no shows. Am I right? So what I want to And I've already wasted like most of this podcast episode just telling you where I'm at. So maybe I'll just keep doing that. So one of the show topics I want to deal with, I saw it and someone was like, should we consider getting credit cards and maxing them out for survival? And I may have done an actual like face palm or like just hit my head on a table. Like, what? I have thoughts. Is there a time and a place for maxing out a credit card for survival? You know what? I can think of a case. So there is a case. This ain't it, y'all. So don't run out and try maxing out your credit cards. I'm actually keeping an eye out right now for a fireworks stand. Oh, happy July 4th, everybody. Today, as I'm recording this, is July 4th. It will not go up today. It'll go up on our regularly scheduled Wednesday. I'm going to stick with Wednesday. It's a good day. I like it. So we'll do that. But it is July 4th. I'm looking for some sparklers for my daughter, who, if you guys, some of you guys are my friends, so you know, she is a massive 2-year-old. Massive. The size of small 4-year-olds. It is insane. But I'm pulling into a fireworks stand now. I'm going to go see if they have sparklers for my daughter. And then we'll resume our little chat. And we're back. I do have the air conditioner on now, so I will try to filter it out. It is too hot. FYI, mission sparklers was accomplished. My daughter will have sparklers. So, yeah, we will not dive into the should you max out credit cards today. I'm just going to keep talking about COVID and the past 2 years, which there's just so many inconsistencies. So I really hope you guys have, like, man, what a like testament to prepping. Like, those of us that were prepped did not empty the shelves. We did, like, you know, I bought toilet paper when I needed it. I always buy in the biggest package I could possibly find. But I certainly didn't buy like 33 cases of toilet paper. We did not run out of toilet paper during the apocalypse. But it was a good. So if you were a prepper before, and I doubt anyone that started prepping because of COVID is still a prepper. I was waiting for deals to pop up. You know, after like 2012, there was prepper deals. Oh my God, there was prepper deals. We've been slapped in the face with so many apocalypses. How can you keep up? We haven't had a break. It keeps on happening. Bullshit keeps happening. The current state of things, with inflation going through the roof, on the verge of World War III, like, all this bullshit, there's no sales to be had because people are freaking out repeatedly. And supply shortages. And with the food manufacturing plants burning down like left and right, how can you not go conspiracy theory on that shit? Like, I try to look up an article and the fact checkers are so full of bullshit. They're like, stuff burns down every year. Well, no shit, stuff burns down. 20-something food manufacturing places don't burn down in a year. And then the cows, like, it's hot, so the cows died. Yeah, sure. Like, I haven't looked in depth on that, but, like, millions, thousands of cows dropping dead all at once because it's too hot? What? Something else is going on. Maybe not nefarious, but that sounds like bullshit to me. Just saying. And they're trying to push the insect diet so hard, and they're like, you know what? I need to do a conspiracy episode soon because they're fun. and you get to learn about stuff. So, conspiracy episode coming up soon. It will not be 2 years between episodes again, I promise, unless, the nukes start flying, and then no episode, because there'll be no internet. But I do have a ham. I don't have a license. I have a ham radio, and I have a license. So if the government is gone, then by all means, I'll use it. There you go. There's a lot of prepper deals to be had in past things. None to be had now. More companies popping up, but like if you bought long-term storage food before this, like, what's performing better? What's performing better than that on like an ROI standpoint? Like I saw a price comparison of like Harmony House whole egg powder pre-apocalypse, like $8-9 number 10 can. Now, like, and it could be wrong, it could be down again, but it was like $80 a can. $80. And I mean, if you're starving to death and dying, is that not a bad price? Probably a good time to have chickens, though. So we just tried to have chickens, and our flock was murdered on like the second night out. So back to the drawing boards. We have to rebuild. We have to rebuild the chicken coop better and stronger. Because man, those fresh eggs would have been fantastic. But whatever the fucking creature was that got them, fuck you. What else? You know what? I feel like maybe the prepper movement gained some people, and I'm not gonna lie. There was a part in the back of my head. So during the peak COVID craziness, I got a lot of emails from people to do their affiliate link to make money with them. I refuse to take any product or money just because, well, one, I wasn't using any. I did shut off. Everyone that was still a Survivalpunk Army member, and I'm sorry, some of you guys paid for quite a while. I shut it down. I manually unmembered you. Like cancel culture. I unmembered you. So I wasn't taking your money. Survivalpunk, without me continuing it, does offer a lot of values. There's hundreds of podcast episodes, hundreds of articles, but I didn't feel good continuing to take money. And I'm not going to shill for it. If you try to sign up for the Survivalpunk Army right now, I will just instantly unmember you. And I need to probably just take it down, to be honest. I just need to I definitely would like to get the website back running full steam and get the Survivalpunk Army membership going to where I can make some money from it. But it should be value for value, not me taking your money and giving you one podcast every 2 years. Sorry. When I have a proven track record again of putting out podcasts, videos, and articles, I'll mention it again. What I've thought about doing is setting up like a Bitcoin micro tip system where, if you like the podcast and it's worth like a nickel to you in Bitcoin, I'll accept that. Sort of a micro thing like that makes a lot of sense to me. Where the membership, you guys sign up for a thing, is reoccurring. Tipping based on a podcast episode or an article, I think makes a lot of sense. And I Bitcoin tip people. With the transaction fee so low, you can get in there and you can just, you can be like, this is worth $0.25. I'll tip you $0.25. It means something. It does mean something. You read that article, you listen to that podcast, and you're like, it's worth something to me. It is not. If you go to a restaurant and you get a meal and you tip $0.25, that's a slap in the face. You read an article and you think it's worth $0.25, yeah, that's fine. Like, that's perfectly acceptable. If you read an article and you think, man, that's mind blowing, it changed my life, I'll tip you 10 grand. That's a little crazy, but you know, I could use some more ammo, guys. So definitely, yeah, I'm about to be pulling up to home. So this will be the end of this episode. I have a couple more things before I wrap it up. There will definitely be more podcasts. There will be. So, and I haven't done a YouTube video in years either. And a lot of it was like just pure pettiness. I was monetized on YouTube. They changed their rules. I'm not monetized anymore. I thought about, one, I'll continue to put the podcast on YouTube. I'm going to start doing some like live YouTube lives. Like, I'll do the podcast and then I'll take some answers. I like that. It's a real neat format. But yeah, so what I thought about doing was doing like a road to 1,000. If I get 1,000 subscribers, which is about 500 more than what I have, then I can be remonetized. See, and what pissed me off was I put out a video on making bulletproof plate armor yourself at home. 2-part series. One was like construction, one was shooting and testing it. It has gotten the most views of anything I've ever done, like close to 100,000 views. And YouTube made money because they cut me off, so they made money for those views. I got jack diddly shit, so fuck them fucking fuckers. But I'm gonna put out some more content on YouTube, so it's out there. Hopefully the audio with the air conditioner running was acceptable. I am home. Happy July 4th. And remember, guys, DIY to survive.